So my grandma used to live on the top of Montefiore Hill, which is a couple blocks from here. When I was about 7 years old, in the middle of summer, what we would do is we'd plan and come 4 o'clock on a Saturday, walk down Montefiore Hill, down to Adelaide Oval. Now if you're putting things together, summer, Adelaide, Saturday afternoons, maybe thinking the cricket. Thing is, at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, Adelaide Oval opens their back gates, lets a lot of the punters out, but it's also free entry to the cricket. So what we would do is we would take bags like this, usually Hessian sacks, and we would enter in the back entrance of the Adelaide Cricket Grounds. We walk from one end of the green all the way underneath the scoreboard, the old scoreboard. This is going back like a long, long time ago, early 90s. And I'd do just that. I would go around picking up all the cans and all the bottles, emptying all the stinky beer and all the soft drink out of them, crushing them up, putting them in these Hessian sacks. Then, a couple hours later, we'd take them all outside the gate again, and then we'd haul them back up Montefiore Hill in shifts. Get about 7 o'clock at night, and we'd enter all these bags into my grandma's the boot of her car, which was an old white Mitsubishi Lancer. And then on the Sunday, we would drive down to Deverton, where there used to be recycling plants, and we used to cash all these cans in. And for a 7 or 8 year old, getting $100 a day is a shitload of money. What brought me to that place was my parents said, here's $5 pocket money. Yeah, I wanted to buy things that were valued more than $5. So what was I going to do to get the money that I wanted? That was my very first business. These are trading cards. Does anyone remember basketball, baseball trading cards? Around the same era, late 80s, early 90s? Trading cards used to come in packets of 10 or 20, and this is an open packet, but they used to be in these little alfoil containers that you'd rip open. But the thing was, when you opened them up, they came in random order. And that wasn't valuable to anyone. Having random basketball cards wasn't of any value. You might have a duplicate, it might not be worth anything. The thing I realised was there were people out there that loved to collect these. They were only valuable if you had put them in sequence from number 1 to 200 in a set, or if there was a valuable printed card in gold, they would be of value to people. So instead of buying packets of cards at a wholesale and spending a lot of money on that, I used to go and buy boxes of these. It used to be 20 or 40 packets in a box of cards. So I'd come home, spend all my money on these boxes, and I'd spend all day ripping all the packets open, sorting them all out into sets and finding those valuable cards. Then what I would do, I'd go down to the Irish Club. I was the youngest person in the Irish Club for 6 months of the year. And what I would do, every Saturday, they would have stalls there, like a trade show, but for cards. So there would be me, 10 years old, standing behind this big, great table with all these other adults walking around, trying to buy and sell cards. And again, I would come home with a couple $100 every Saturday from trading cards. The biggest lesson for me in that business was, if I could assume the risk, and if I could create convenience for people, they were more than happy to put their hand in their pocket and bring out their hard-earned cash and give it to me. This comes back to the introduction. Another business that I ran was books. So if you remember when the internet came out, you had websites that were all these bright colours and flashing, and they looked horrible. I learned HTML, which was the coding language to build websites. I was a dude that was building those websites that you were looking at. My uncle was a writer. He'd written a lot of books, and he wanted further distribution. So I said to him, look, I know how to build websites. This is way before Amazon. I know how to build websites. How about we team up and I'll sell your books online? And the funny thing is, and I still can't comprehend that random people on the internet back in the mid-90s would send me in the post checks of money. I'm still baffled that people would actually write a check and send it to a random person in Australia. And what would happen, these checks would come in every month, and my uncle and I would split it 50-50. he would get 50% and I would get the other 50%. And what I realized was the power in partnerships. I didn't like doing any of that other stuff. All I liked doing was selling. Over the years, I did plenty of other businesses. Some of them made money, some of them lost money. I stuffed up a whole range of things. But when it came time to graduate school, I was told I had to go to university. And what I really wanted to do was marketing. That's what I had done all the time before that, sales and marketing. Yet, what did I choose to do? I chose to do law. And what a dumb decision that was. So I studied law for 5.5 years, finished the degree, yet halfway through, I said, you know what, this is not for me. I've kind of lost my way somewhere. So what this journey has been for me over the last probably 3 or so years is to really realize what my interests and passions were, and also acknowledge that I had lost my way and I had taken advice from other people that wasn't really who I was. So what I want to leave you with today is that only you know what your interests and passions are, and only you know if you're on the path that you should really be on. Thank you.